This is my waifu wrap for 2024, kind of like a collection review or overview, a showcase style video I guess. In this video I'll be going over all the figures that I own. I'll be focusing on my main figures being 1/12-ish or 6-inch 15cm figures. I'll also throw in a few Nendos and anything else which is kind of handy that I have lying around as well. I mainly have my figures in two places. First of all in front of me on my desk in front of my monitor, and also to the left of me on an old laptop stand kind of thing. Sometimes they'll be scattered around different places or briefly reboxed depending on things and reasons, but they're mostly nearby at arm's reach. I guess I could probably utilize my space a little bit better, but this is what we have for now. So there is a bit of rambling and like random stuff, so I will include timestamps for you. First up, a bit of the setup. Here is the keyboard, a Logitech G913 10 key less linear keys, kind of basic, overdue for a clean. Gamer mouse is a Razer Death Adder V2 Pro. I got an AKG microphone of some sort, I can't remember what the exact name is. For the rig we have an MSI GS66 Stealth laptop. I'm also not sure of the exact type of my monitor. It's a basic AOC, height can't be adjusted, refresh rate is only 75Hz, which is even less than my laptop of 300, so that's a little bit strange and it is noticeable. Finally, here is the earphone situation. A little bit tragic, but if it works, right? I've had these for years, Philips I think. This is my camera or phone stand. I usually just record the videos on an old fold-up table. Super professional. And I also have a cheap tripod for some unboxing shots. Obviously not the fanciest setup, but it gets the job done. Alright, onto the actual collection, kind of. Let's get some little bits and pieces out of the way first. Freerun plush, and some little keychains. Nikkei's 2nd anniversary art card thing, which I got when I bought the packs of Gacha Nikkei, which I still haven't opened. At the back there's also some A4 folders from the Nikkei exhibition in Tokyo. I've got both Scarlet and Marianne. Usually kept in storage, I've got this Nezuko prize figure, which one of my first figures looks kind of strange. The face is kind of long I think, so I don't usually display her. I've got these 4 other girlies, SHFiguarts minis. We have Kohaku, Elsha Lian, Nobara, and Alice. Honestly, nothing really wrong with these, I just don't really have a place for them. We got some feet here, another Freerun plush, Nikkei cushions, little Genshin Gacha girlies, Gacha Mem of course, the forges, Nikkei stands, which I have a bunch more somewhere, but I got no room to display them unfortunately. We have Snow White, a very expensive kimono Scarlet, I think she was around 3,000 yen, and Privity. Finally we have a chilling Makima, and a snoozing Kikoru. On to the actual figures. Here are some bootleg girlies, fake Figma Ronin. Not too bad to be honest, face is a little bit funny, a little bit wobbly in places, grabbed her straight from China. I have reviewed her if you are interested. From afar she looks decent enough. Fake moded cyborg runner girls. The real ones retail for about 23,000 yen. I have not one, but 2 for 1/10 of that price, so not too bad. The blue one doesn't look too bad. The face is pretty good to be honest, haven't opened the grey one yet, but she's pretty cool for the price I would say. Here are some model girls. We have Rashetta from the 30-Minute Sisters series. Pretty quick and easy to build I would say, and looks pretty decent too. Essentially when I was getting into figures I chose these over Gundam, and that would have been an alternate timeline. But I'm a little bit too lazy for model kits, so I started collecting figures. Now look where we are, YouTube channel and all. Megami Device Azra Ninetales, which I bought pre-built from Japan. Pretty sure she includes everything, even came with instructions and the stickers and stuff. This face is pretty funny and one of my favorites. I also have an Azra Archer Aoi. I have heard good things about Megami Device and that they're pretty fun to build as well, so hopefully I will get to this one eventually. The box is just chilling on the floor for now. We got some Nendoroids of course, Nendoroid Rapi, pretty good, got a full review of her if you're interested. The only thing I really dislike is her hat. We also have Nendoroid Aru. She looks pretty good. Not perfect, unfortunately. The switching arms can be a hassle, but she's far from the worst thing. Haven't quite gotten to doing a review of her yet. I'll get to that eventually, hopefully. Nendoroid Anise, fantastic, Anise face and all. Do check out her review too. Nendoroid Pirate Girl, who I don't actually know the name of, unfortunately. Hasn't been opened, obviously, by me anyway. Got her super cheap from Mandarake in Japan. No box, but I think the parts should be complete. Here are some girlies who haven't been opened for reasons. We got Rin Tosaka. Grabbed her from a bargain bin kind of thing at Suragaya in Japan. Parts seem to be complete. It's funny because she's actually the second Tosaka that I've owned. We got Figma Tamamonomai. Recently found her at another Suragaya, yikes. Wanted this girl for a while actually, and finally found her for a good price. We'll definitely let her out sometime. Figma Styles Sukeban Body. I also actually wanted this one for ages, and once I bought her, I never opened her. Grabbed her from a jungle store, which is the one where I first saw the Snail Shell girls, but on a different trip. She has a middle finger hand, which is pretty cool, I must say. SHF Kikuru Shinomiya from Kaiju number 8. Picked her up right before a recent Japan trip, so she's unfortunately been backlogged quite a bit. She looks kinda small compared to Mina Ashiro, guess it's lore accurate. She has her massive axe, of course. We got Exrion Nana Hoshikawa, I don't actually know if that's how you pronounce it. Saw this girl a while ago, but didn't know who or what she was, so I didn't pick her up. From a Chinese company, of course, which I suppose may be a growing part of a lot of our collections. Mainly grabbed her because she was kind of cheap and I wanted tax-free. Next up, we have Uma Musume Mr. CB SHF. Premium Bandai. Her default face looks kind of funny. Otherwise, she looks okay, I guess. I don't really know why I bought her, to be honest. I think I liked her design. SHF Shy Spirits, grabbed for quite cheap at Suragaya. Will make a fine drinking buddy for Nikkei Scarlet once she releases. And lastly, we have Figma Chisato from Licorice Recoil. Brand new, unfortunately was not able to get Takina, because she was either grossly overpriced or straight up sold out. Did really enjoy the anime and the characters, so hopefully I will be able to get a Takina eventually, maybe. Maybe I'll get the Buzz mod or something as a stand-in. Now for some opened displayed girlies. Figma Mika Jogasaki. My second ever Figma, I think, from Mandarake. Saber was my first, but I don't actually have her anymore. So Mika just kind of caught my eye, and she's been in my collection ever since. Figma Dark Magician Girl, hunted her down for a while, but honestly, while she does look quite good, there's really nothing special about her after I finally got her, unfortunately. Articulation is kind of lacking too. Figma Jolta, one of my favorites despite being a relatively simple design and not really knowing anything about Fate. I especially like the face, and she's also one of the first Figma that I got. I was actually browsing Mandarake at the airport and I saw her at the store that I was going to. Luckily she was still available when I got there and I grabbed her right away. Figma Librarian Girl from Arms Note. Tosha Lincho-san. I don't know if this is a simple or complex design, but I actually really like this figure. She can be simple on her own, but she also has a huge railgun and a bunch of other accessories. I should probably review this one sometime. Very cool figure. Figma Ichi Another. The first figure I actually went out of my way to hunt down and order online. I saw her at a Suragaya in Japan, but I didn't buy her on the spot. Still wanted her after a little later, and I found her for slightly cheaper on Mandarake. So I grabbed her together with Figma 422 She, but I've since sold She since I didn't really care for her afterwards. Having 4 swords is pretty cool though. Figma Lance Reiter, still one of my favorites, though I do like Samurai a little bit more these days. That said, she is still a very cool figure and there is a full review of her as well. Figma UMP9, I guess she'd be my third Figma. At the time Nikkei was pretty new and there weren't any figures and barely any merch. She kind of fit the gun girl aesthetic, and I didn't play Girls Frontline at the time, but I grabbed her anyway, despite her being a little bit expensive, or so I thought. Being my third Figma, she was about 8,000 yen. Little did I know, 8K is actually pretty underpriced for this one, so lucky me. Figma AZB, my profile picture since I made the channel till now. No particular reason to be honest, just happened to be a picture which was handy, so kinda stuck with it. She is cool though, she has a big sword and a sheath which is also a gun kind of thing. I should really use their accessories more. Figma Hololive Marin. I don't actually watch Hololive, but the design is great. Love the red, the gold trim, the overall pirate concept, as well as all the accessories that she has. So she can take off her hat, she can take off her hat, her jacket, and she also has an eye patch as well, so that's pretty cool. Hololive Shirogane Noel goes very well with Marin in my opinion, so I usually pose them together or at least have them standing next to each other. Design and details are good as well. Her arm or shoulder joints are a little bit stiff and creaky on mine. I'm not sure if that's normal, so I don't move her around too much. Grabbed her from Taiwan I think, that's kinda random. Figma Chen from Arknights. Found her at a yellow submarine in Japan. No box, just her and a Figma bag. Actually, I think she did come with a box, like half her box. The plastic and then like the front piece, it was really weird. But anyway, I got her for a decent price, so there we go. Dual wielder, of course, very nice. Figma Styles Keyaki off-the-shoulder sweater dress. A nice basic or base figure, of course, comes with soft goods, a good faceplate, a nice simple figure overall. She can take her boots off as well. Done a review for her too. Figma Mona from Genshin. Got her second hand with no box, but complete accessories. Also one of my favorites despite not playing Genshin. Design is great, and I really like that she has an empty purse because it reminds me of myself. That's probably not a good thing. Figma Shiroko, not a cat gacha girl. Good figure, has a pretty cool gun. Seems to be quite popular since she got a re-release as well as a cycling version of her. There's also a full review of her. Racing Miku 2022, designed by Neko. A good looking, sleek and slim looking design. Never displayed her with her flag because it's too big, but she still looks good. Figma Thick Racing Miku 2023. The first video that I ever made, and so she's a little bit special. I managed to snap one of the hair strands, because I'm stupid, and so I just super glued it. Might not be the best thing to do, but it's not too noticeable, whatever. Figma NH01, designed by Neko. Looks very cool. Unfortunately, the quality of mine is a little bit doo-doo, even though I got her brand new. The joints are kinda loose, and her staff is pretty much the only redeeming factor, if I'm being honest. We also have NH02, her sister, I think they're sisters, I don't know. Stands well, especially with the help of her ribbons. Quality and joints feel a lot more solid too. SHF Kitasan Black from Uma Musume. She's got a nice design. At the time I hadn't really watched any Uma Musume, also didn't play the game, but I've watched a few episodes since then. It's alright I guess. Horse girlies are pretty cool. She's got one of the better looking SHF female faces I think. SHF Mina Ashiro, very good anime, good character. I just kind of picked her up randomly. She has her massive cannon of course, but I also haven't taken that out of the box. Figma Samurai from Neko's Falslander series. One of my favorites. Love me some dark techie aesthetic dual wielding girlies. Or just Neko designs in general I guess. Paid a bit of a premium for her Paid a bit of a premium for her because I didn't pre-order. Check out the review if you'd like to see more. SHF Chun-Li. Also grabbed her in Taiwan I think, along with Shirogane Noel. She's got a more anime pretty looking face despite her being an SHF and a Street Fighter girly. No complaints there though, looks good. She's got her signature thick thighs and things. Perhaps one of my mandatory favorites, Snail Shell's Bunny Girl Eileen. To be honest, I'm not even into bunny girls. Just a nice overall simplistic figure which looks good, wasn't too expensive, but has also started me down the path of Snail Shell figures, so that's something. Succubus Lustia, wasn't planning on getting her at all, but she popped up for cheap. Even got free feet, and those aren't even why she's one of my favorites. She's just a really nice looking figure overall. Very pointy as well, which I'm not sure is a good thing. Sunkissed Eileen. Felt a bit of FOMO for this one and so grabbed her after release. Not perfect because of some leg issues on mine and I hear in general as well, but still a good figure overall. I've got dedicated reviews for all 3 Snail Shell girlies if you're interested as well. SHFiguarts, it's literally just Frieren. I enjoyed the anime, I like the character, so I enjoy having her standing in front of me with her silly little face. Husky's mechanic Fiona, who I also wasn't planning on getting, but Succubus Freed was too far off, and I wanted to see what Husky figures were like. Pleasantly surprised, really enjoyed this figure, one of my favorites as well. Miss SHF Momo Ayase from Dun. Pretty wild anime, also picked her up kind of randomly on a whim. Questionable sculpt design, but still a good figure regardless. Cang Toys Dragon Lung, not so little dragon lady from Cang Toys who usually makes mechs and things. Good looking figure, has some cool accessories, not perfect but is a lot of fun. I've done reviews for those last few as well. Wrapping up with my last pickups of the year, Figma Kazusa from Blue Archive, and Hyperbody Modernia. These should be the first 2 reviews of 2025. So there we have it, not exactly my full collection of stuff, but everything else is kind of a mess and in bits and pieces all over the place. Maybe one day I'll organize it and show it all off. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this little review or summary of my main figure collection for 2024 and going into 2025. Which are your favorites, either from my collection or your own, waifu or not waifu? As always, thanks for watching, hope you have a fantastic year ahead. Take care, have a good one, and I'll see you again next time.